Whatever you're looking for in a full-sized executive car, it's very likely that you'll find it in this one, the 7th generation BMW 5 Series. Weight savings and clever new driving technology features have restored this model's traditional leadership in this segment when it comes to drive dynamics. There's also a sumptuous interior, a host of media connectivity, and some really cutting-edge safety features. In short, it's a rejuvenated proposition.
You don't have to drive very far in this 7th generation 5 Series to notice this model's sharper feel and extra agility. Losing 100 kilos of weight will do that for you. It doesn't feature the kind of full air suspension setup that can be specified as an option in a rival Mercedes E-Class, but if you add in the extra cost VDC, variable adaptive damping system, that we'd recommend, you'll find very little to complain about when it comes to ride quality. With VDC fitted, you get an extra adaptive setting on the standard drive performance control system, a mode that makes all the driving setup decisions for you and draws on data from the navigation system to anticipate and prepare for corners and hazards in advance. Options include an adaptive drive setup that uses automatically adjustable anti-roll bars to reduce body roll through the bends. Plus, you can also pay extra for xDrive 4-wheel drive. And an integral active steering system that'll steer the rear wheels for additional stability at speed and extra manoeuvrability when parking. Engine-wise, most buyers will choose the 190 bhp 2-litre 4-cylinder diesel unit that's fitted to the 520D variant we're trying here. In its most frugal, efficient dynamics, guys, this particular 5 is capable of running cost returns that are unbettered in the class. 72.4 mpg on the combined cycle and 102 grams per kilometre of CO2. Now, if you need more pulling power, the 3-litre 6-cylinder diesel of the 265 bhp 530D model beckons. Another 3-litre 6-cylinder unit features at the top of the mainstream petrol engine lineup, namely the 340 bhp power plant that sits beneath the bonnet of the potent 540i variant. The primary 5 Series petrol engine, though, is a 252 bhp 2-litre 4-cylinder unit that's offered in two distinct forms. Now, you get it conventionally in the 530i model, but it also comes mated to a 95 bhp electric motor and a 9.2 kWh lithium-ion battery as part of the plug-in hybrid package provided by the iPerformance 530e derivative. Over nearly half a century of production, there have certainly been moments of note in 5 Series design. The original E12 version of 1972 and the Mark V E60 model of 2003 both come to mind. Overall, though, this car has generally been characterised by the kind of confident but conservative styling that features on this 7th generation G30 version. Now, as expected, this 5 borrows heavily from aesthetic cues established by smaller 3 Series and bigger 7 Series stablemates, and it shares much under the skin with that larger car. The CLAR cluster architecture underpinnings are in fact pretty much the same as you'd find in a 7, although BMW has stopped short of incorporating that pricier model's expensive carbon fibre reinforced carbon core. Even without that, though, this Mark VII 5 Series model still weighs in 100 kilos lighter than its predecessor, despite the fact that it's longer, wider and slightly taller than before. And once you're in the cabin, the design approach seems less understated than it is outside, and it feels very sophisticated. Virtual dials cosset your eyes through this beautifully tactile 3-spoke wheel, while at the top of the centre stack lies a big 10.25-inch colour iDrive screen that welcomes you on first-name terms to the 5 Series driving experience. Now, those may be the first things you'll notice, but shortly after you'll be struck by the sheer quality on offer here. All the materials used, even those lower down, feel great to touch, with proper leather and metal finishing that feels very special indeed. So let's take a seat in the rear. Now, that's easier to do this time around because the doors swing open wide and the revised aperture you enter through is now usefully tall. And now, earlier we mentioned that this 7th generation 5 is virtually as big as the larger 7 Series model from a decade or so ago. And the stats here bear that out, particularly in terms of the extra knee room and leg room that come courtesy of this improved model's 7mm of extra wheelbase length. So finally, let's raise the aluminium boot lid and have a look at the luggage area. In this saloon model, it boasts a small 10-litre increase in size to 530 litres. That's thanks to the now longer rear overhang. Of course, if you are going to be needing that sort of capacity very often, you'll be better off going for the Touring Estate version of this model, which offers a 570 litre boot in conventional form, extendable up to 1700 litres if you flatten the rear seat. Elsewhere, you may have read or seen that this 7th generation 5 Series has been pronounced as the class leader in the full-sized executive segment. Now, we're not about to disagree with that assessment. A comparable Jaguar XF is lovely to drive, and a rival Mercedes E-Class is technologically advanced and great to ride in. But with a 5 Series, we think you get the best that those two competitors can offer, plus a little bit more. Now, whether you prioritise clever gadgetry, high-tech engineering or sharp running costs in your full-sized executive car, this BMW operates from an agenda that will certainly impress. Conservative styled, it may be. Conservative in outlook, it certainly isn't.